All right. Hello, everyone. And this is Getting Ready Live. We have a big show for you. Tons of special guests, opportunities, and conversation. I am Damian Kinsey. I'm the co-creator of the Virtual Wellness Summit. I'm also a co-host of this particular live, which is Getting Ready Live. Meet the presenter editions, the Virtual Wellness Summit. And my great, amazing co-host. Tell them who you are.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tanya Farron. Thank you for being here today. I'm excited to be here again. Day 5 of Meet the Presenters. I am an educator, been in education a long time. I love educating and helping teachers and students and families. I'm also the owner of Creative Living Ideas, and we have created 8 different books. We are working on our 9th book currently. It is a journal for people that are neurodivergent. And so we're very excited about that. I have a book called Raising the Well-Adjusted Child, a Parent's Manual, and other self-care books, a cookbook, and I have a memoir that I've written with my mom and my brother. I also do professional development. And so I have professional development for teachers, for parents, and for corporations with self-care. And then we had the Virtual Wellness Summit. So it's just an amazing full circle, company and process that we have. So absolutely love being here and love hosting the show. I'm excited to get our presenters up here. We have some technical difficulties with some presenters. So, maybe coming a little bit later, but we do have a presenter to share.
Yeah, and the Virtual Wellness Summit is a 2-day event. It's 23 because we have another one on top of that. Presenters, 26 different workshops, amazing opportunity, 2 workshops at a time, going from 9 o'clock Central Standard Time all the way to 4:30-ish. So come out and join. Grab your tickets, get those opportunities for the Virtual Wellness Summit. And here's the information below. You can go there or scan a QR code and get involved with the Virtual Wellness Summit. It's a great opportunity. Here's the QR code. You can scan that right now, go to the page and look at the Virtual Wellness Summit. And the great part about the Virtual Wellness Summit is we have guests and people here involved in part of the summit. We have a packed big show today. We have 6 people, including myself and Dr. Farron, total, who are part of the summit. And let's start with introductions. Do you want to go first with Annika, or do you want me to go first with Kinga, Dr. Farron?
You go first with Kinga.
Hey, Kinga is no stranger to getting ready. She is no stranger to LinkedIn. She's an amazing human being. Her thing is curiosity, passion, and heart, and she loves to talk about project management as more than just a skill, is an opportunity, a way of life, and a way to better help people. She likes to provide systems. She owns her own company. She's co-authoring an anthology, and I can sit here all day, all night and talk about Kinga. And if you saw her on the entrepreneurship show, you know what you expect. Kinga, tell them a little bit more about yourself. Thanks for being here.
That was so kind. Thank you so much, Damian. Can you hear me okay? Is my microphone working? All right, good. I'm glad we're not having any difficulties on this end. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I am so excited to go ahead and introduce myself to all the folks that are interested in this summit. Hopefully people are coming. For me, it is all about our network and the people that we bring through our community, and we're better together. I truly believe that. And so when we're talking about project planning and how we get things done, it's always with the help of others. And so I'm really excited to be here. A lot of what I coach people on and advise people on and build my programs around is around how do we get what we need to be able to achieve our goals. So thank you so much.
Excellent. You know what? I can just say, Kinga, you have the most contagious smile and the most beautiful smile. She is always smiling and so cheerful. And I love it. Every time that we are in a space that we've gotten together, we've met together, she has such amazing energy. It's just, she's just always looking at life with a positive lens and, really bringing collaboration together amongst our presenters. Wouldn't you agree, Damien?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Energy is just great.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. So glad that you're here. I've enjoyed getting to know you more and more every time, whether I talk to Damien about some of our presenters or, I get to see you and work with you or watch when you were able to stand in when I wasn't able to be here. So I've absolutely loved all of that. So thank you so much. I want to thank the people that are in our audience tonight. Thanks for being here. Lee, thanks for being here. And Mike, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And anyone else that is in the audience, you guys are amazing. Drop a hello in the chat so I can say hello back to you. We love engagement from our audience. Absolutely. All right. I want to introduce, and hi, Camille, you are right on time, so don't even worry about it. You are right on time. I want to introduce Annika Farron to you. Yes, we have the same last name. So Annika is a member of our Creative Living Ideas team. She is on our creative team. In fact, I'm going to let her talk about our latest project that really was her decision to create. And we have been, we're almost finished with this project. But Annika does a lot of my back office things for me. She does all of my accounting and payroll and all of that hard stuff that you need someone to do. And she does an amazing job at it. Annika also drives our chat for us every Sunday. So we don't have a driver tonight. So, she's here in person and we love it. We love her engagement. We love her support. She has enjoyed getting to know all of these presenters also, but she's also an incredible individual. And so I want her to tell you a little bit about her and what does she do?
Okay, hi everyone. I am Annika Farron. So like Dr. Farron said, I am pretty much the administrative assistant for CLI. So I do a lot of the back end things, but I also kind of help on the creative side as well. So our newest self-care book is going to be a neurodivergent self-care book. I'm really excited about this one. This is kind of like my baby. So the reason why I had thought of this is because I have epilepsy, and even though that is not really a neurodivergent attribute, I really wanted a book that would have more to do with like making sure you take your medication, things about, your upcoming doctor's visits. It kind of sparked after one of my doctor's visits, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't take any notes. And they want me to set an appointment in 6 months, and I'm not going to remember to write that down anywhere and things like that. And I have to have a specific sleep schedule. And so I really wanted a self-care book that had all of these contents in it, and I hadn't seen one before. So I'm really excited that we're able to do that and get that out there for the neurodivergent community. And then also during the day, I have another job. I am the branch manager at a bank, recently promoted, and also a full-time student. So there's a lot going on here.
She does have a lot going on, and she's great at all of the things that she's doing. And so we absolutely love having her on the CLI team. She's an original.
I love that. So we have Camille here. Camille is all things wellness, overall good, positive, great human being. She does live events, audio. She is a mom. She's part of the Mom Link. She also is how do I say this? How do you even make your company We Got This? That's her company. Like the energy is, it starts with We Got This. And it's more to it. I know it's more to the tagline of it. And I want you to say it yourself, but I want people to understand how do you even start the name of your company with We Got This. So it's amazing that somebody who is dedicating themselves and their energy and their passion to pouring into other people. So Camille, go ahead. Tell them the full name of your company.
Awesome sauce. Thank you so much, Damien, Dr. Tanya, Kinga, and Annika. So wonderful to be here on this stage here with you. So yes, my business is called We Got This Mind and Body. And I have a tagline that says, not about you, it's not about me, it truly is about we. You got this, we got this, now let's go. And how I created this, the word my name derived from was actually in 2018, my mom went into a catatonic state that I like to explain it as an awake a coma. She was contorted and she could not speak. She could not move her body. She couldn't sleep actually too. And a lot of the doctors would tell me that I should get prepared to not see my mom ever be normal again. Because they were counseling her out because they tried everything to get her woken up to get going again, and nothing worked. Her body was sound and mind, but she was still contorted and couldn't wake up. And I remember sitting beside my mom's bed saying, "Mommy, you got this, Mommy, you got this. You got this, Mommy. We got this, Mommy, we got this." And I promise you that when, not if, when you do wake up, I will never take for granted my body. I will never take for granted food. And most importantly, I will always nourish this mind. And you know what? My mom woke up and she's thriving. And what woke her up was the power of her mindset. She was determined. She's there. She's actually a walking miracle. And they're still studying her because they cannot believe that from a contorted state that she's been able to thrive. And it all really, she fought for it. She fought that mentally, and the body keeps the score. So you see how your mindset really is. It's a mind-body connection. I saw it with my own two eyes. So that's where I got that from. And Annika, guess what? I too work 9 to 5 at a bank. So I have my business at wellness, and I'm making sure that people are financially well too as well. So so anybody that says that they don't have time for wellness, let me tell you something. Damien knows it well. 5 a.m. I do my Audible book listen here on LinkedIn at 5 a.m. And then there I also do my workout or work with my clients and then get the kids ready, go to my 9 to 5, and then do everything else I need to do in the afternoon. You always create the time for the things that you know that means something to you. And you should be that meaningful person in your life at the top of the to-do list.
I love that.
Damien, we have said this 2 nights in a row. Like, we did not select when these people were going to be on together. These people selected their time slots. We threw it out there. And the chemistry that appears on this is just perfect. I had no idea you worked at a bank. Annika did. I know that Kinga's from corporate America. Like that is, we have not really had that happen yet. And so incredible combination, and you are amazing. That is an amazing story. I did hop into your audio room that one morning when I couldn't sleep. That was 4 a.m. for me. And she messaged me later, like, "What were you doing? I know you're in the Midwest." I was like, I couldn't sleep. I rolled over and I opened LinkedIn and Camille was live. And I was like, well, I'll put an earbud in and listen. And it was great. It was a great story about your mom. It was very, very touching, very touching. And we have, look who's back. It's Dwight.
Dwight's a regular here. Right and Warrior, go ahead and introduce yourself. You're on mute, Dwight.
Technology, user error. Blessings all. Happy Thursday. How y'all doing? One love always. It's just an honor and a pleasure to be back here. What a wonderful super team. Forget Avengers. Forget Justice League. We have it right here. The super team of wellness. This is what we're talking about. So I just want to say, Dwight Thompson, aka the Right Warrior. I represent business and creative writing services, and what we do is essentially anything that involves the pen, anything that involves writing. That's what we're here for. For this summit in particular, it was the poet in me that answered the call of Dr. Tanya. And poetry is such an important aspect of how we view the world, how we describe what happens to us, and how we self-express ourselves. And a lot of times, especially in these schools nowadays, you don't have any way of creatively expressing yourself. Cursive writing, gone. Creative thinking, gone. Music, gone. Arts and crafts, gone. So what we have is in every single aspect of our lives, if we can embrace just a little bit of poetry, just a tiny, tiny bit, it'll make you a better person and make you understand yourself better. And above all else, understand your emotions better. And that's what life is about, understanding yourself before you can help anyone else.
Thanks, Dwight. We're so happy that you joined us again. Dwight is getting he gets another little star on his name. He's been just showing up, just keep showing up. And we love it. Thank you so much for being here.
I'll be teacher's pet all day. I have no problem with that.
I love it. I love it. And Kinga's cat made an appearance. I love that too. Your cat's welcome. All pets are welcome.
Now, here's the time when we do pouring on. We do have a lot of people on stage, so I'm gonna bring people up one by one, and so everyone can talk about who they're pouring on one by one. So we'll start removing everyone, and you'll be back soon. All right. So we start this segment off with always. So now, we want to always pour onto an individual or person, a place, or thing that has impacted us over the week and give that opportunity to pour on. And the whole thought process and brain trust behind pouring on is that we think rain is a negative thing, but it is a positive thing because it brings so many things into our lives. And that oftentimes there are people, places, or things that are doing so many positive things in our lives and we take them for granted. So we want to kind of start with pouring on, and pouring on is a great segment and opportunity to start the show, and our guests have the opportunity to always talk about those individuals on pouring on. So I'm going to start with the public school system. Yes, the entire public school system. I am not limited this to teachers. I am talking about the crossing guards. I'm talking about school safety employment, the lunch and dietitians, the janitors, and the custodial staff, the administrators, the admin team, the teachers, the social workers, the MHP team. And the reason why I want to pour into the public school system is because oftentimes there are great people who work in the public school system who have thankless job hours and times, and they dedicate to our overall education. So I want to pour into them. My ask for this is that during pouring on right now, pour on to that person who's in the public school system. If they're on LinkedIn, I want you to tag them, put them on, and tell them that you're pouring on. Put hashtag pouring on, because we want to pour on those people who work in the public school system, because they're the next line, they're the line of defense for our kids' education. So thank you so much with that point. And then we're going to bring Kinga up because she has someone she wants to pour on to. Kinga, you're here. You're pouring on to.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Hear you clearly.
All right, cool. So I want to pour on to Mike Asherbrenner. And the reason I want to pour on to him is because when I first joined LinkedIn and really became an active member, I didn't know anything about these LinkedIn Lives. And I somehow came across one of his lives, and I absolutely had the most fantastic time. It was one of his Hounds of Business Community events. And I just saw that for the first time, people were really just being themselves and also talking about real issues with heart, bringing their core values and having a good time. And so it showed me that coming out of corporate, I didn't have to be in this formal spotlight all the time. I could just kind of show up as myself. And I think that being a community leader is often a really tough job and can often go underappreciated as well. And I have just seen Mike over the past year just really thrive and stand true to his value system. And that's so important to me. So I just want to pour all over him and thank him for all of his support.
Yeah, thank you for that, Kinga. Mike is overall good guy. If you haven't connected with Mike, connect with him. Definitely a great human being. He and I were both on Trevor's show, Hotness Unleashed. Got a chance to meet him and know him, good person. So, Kinga, I'm gonna put you back down for a little moment, and I'm gonna bring up Camille because she has someone she has to pull into. Camille has several someones she wants to pull into, but go ahead. You got to unmute, Camille.
Hi, my name is Camille, and I love to speak on mute. It's always a guarantee that I'll do that. So I would love to pour into my children. I have three, well, I actually have four. I have my stepson who's 23. I have my son who's 17, daughter 11, and my other son that's 6 years old. And I'm pouring into them because I am just, every day I'm in awe at their tenacity, them never giving up, them getting excited to try new things, them facing their fears and doing it anyways. And it just inspires me to see how much that even them stepping into their excellence at such a young age will have an impact even on my own self. So we're always talking about impacting the next generation, but as we are impacting them, let's not forget about how they also are impacting us by seeing their growth, seeing their development, seeing their opportunities that they have in life. So to Jalen, Christian, Selena, and Cameron, Mama loves you forever and ever and a day. And I am super excited to cheer you on in any and everything that you do. I am here for it. I am here for it. And they know that. I'm the loudest mouth wherever they go. They're like, oh, there's Camille. You know it. So you guys, you all are doing awesome.
Thank you so much, Camille. I'll move you back down, and then we're going to bring Annika up so she can pull on. Annika, pouring on.
I would like to pour on to Michaela. We have worked together for about a year and a half now, and she was with me for my transition into assistant branch manager and now my transition into branch manager. And something that I have learned is sometimes it is very difficult to go into a new position, whether you think you know the role or not. And I felt like I was, juggling a lot of plates and, sometimes I was dropping them, but Michaela was always there to pick up the ones that I had dropped. And not only that, but she was there to be a friend to me during that time when I was having a hard time, can I actually do this role? And she just has been amazing. She has now also been promoted to be my assistant branch manager, and she has been doing an amazing job. She hit the ground running right away, and she really is like what keeps me on track in the day. Sometimes I walk in and she's like, this is what you have to do today. And that is exactly what I need. And she has just been an amazing coworker and friend to me. And I just needed to pour on to her. But also, I know I'm pouring on to Michaela, but in the spirit of pouring on to people, I want to pour on to you, Damien, and my mom, Dr. Farron, because I have been coming to these LinkedIn Lives every night this week, and your shows have just been amazing. And I just think the content that you provide in them are just helping a lot of people. They have helped me in ways that I didn't think I needed. But, with everything that I had explained earlier that's been going on in my life, I really needed to learn all these new ways of self-love and appreciation. And so I want to pour on to you guys as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Annika. That was very sweet of you. And I know Michaela is a great person. I've had the pleasure of meeting her. She is an incredible person and has really stepped up in her role. And I know how much you rely on her. And I think it's great that you poured onto her. And thank you for pouring into us. We appreciate that as well.
Thank you.
Damien, do I have time to pour onto someone?
Yes, I'll bring up Dwight while you're pouring on.
Okay. So I wanted to share that I was able to bring, I have 4 ladies for my Creative Living Ideas team. You've met Maddie, she's doing yoga. You met Lexi, she's talking about the anatomy of a team. And then you met Annika, who's doing all the behind the scenes chatting, things like that for me, business-wise, creative team. She's doing the final things on our last book. But I want to pour into one more team member that is not going to appear here because she's doing more things behind the scenes, but my graphic designer, Kristen, she's also on my creative team, Kristen Granquist. She is amazing. She has been a delight to work with. She has created every one of my insides of my books and the outsides of my books, all the book covers, and everything that I thought I wanted. I would tell her and she would show me and I would like it. And then she would show me what her ideas were. And they were even more amazing. She has been really, really inspirational for me for different things like wanting to help like really some technical pieces for me, like she'd say, well, Tanya, grab all of your links and put them in Linktree. Have you done this? Have you tried this? And so when we go through and we talk creatively and we talk about PR and we talk about different things like that, she's really, her marketing degree really kicks in and she really helps us with a lot of marketing things for Creative Living Ideas. So I just wanted to pour into her. She's the 4th person on my team, and I wanted to make sure that they were all highlighted because they're all part of this process. So they're incredible. All right, Dwight.
Thank you. Oh, perfect. So I had the pleasure of meeting this young man, Nabil, maybe 2 months, last year, end of last year. And we connected in another audio room. And he had this concept where he wanted to talk about the transition in between careers, right? How difficult it can be. And I wanted to do a mock interview panel where I would have folks submit their questions to me and I would set up a mock interview board and just pepper them with the questions and just, critique their style and how they interacted. And we found out through this conversation that we both agreed on one thing. When you go into an interview, how you view yourself, your mindset matters in how you present yourself. So we started the series. We had the first audio room on Wednesday. We have another one on the 20th and one on the 27th. And he's just been a phenomenal person. As far as he told me, it's his first audio room, his first time working on a collaboration of this nature. 3 audio rooms in a series and just being able to go into the stage. And everyone knows it's not for everyone. It can be difficult sometimes managing and talking. And, there's a lot of skills you need. And he's been doing his very best. And I look forward to the next one next week. And I'm just amazed at the fact that he's in Canada, I'm in Florida, and we can find the commonality in our ideas and make something tangible happen to help the community. So kudos to you, Nabil. One love always.
I like that so much that you're pouring on to him, and I'm glad we were able to get him up here and get him on stage. Real quick, we're going to now get into the question part where we have conversations and ask questions of our panel. But before we do that, we want to kind of show a quick little promo about the summit, and then we're coming right back in a little bit and ready to go. And all right, here's the part where we put our great panel up of so many individuals on the screen and we ask questions, you get to know them, and they get to know us, I guess, too.
Yeah, let's have some fun, right? Let's have some fun. I first want to thank Leslie for being here. She was on here last night. She's back tonight in the audience. Thank you, Dr. New. Thank you for being here. But Cart, good morning to you. Thank you for being here. Mike, thank you for still being here. And Christy, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And Christina, thanks so much for being here. All right. So as we ask these questions to our participants, our presenters, let's make sure that the people in our audience are also adding their comments in the chat, because we love to hear how you would answer some of these questions. Now, I haven't asked this question in 3 nights, but I'm going to ask it tonight. And I'm just going to go right off of a fun one, and then we can get like serious about the summit or something. But YouTube or TikTok, which one's your favorite? YouTube, TikTok. Which one do you prefer? Which one do you use? Anybody, just go for it.
I'm going to say YouTube, only because I don't know how to work TikTok, and I'm already on enough platforms, and this brain just can't get them all together, and I don't know how to do those voiceovers. Just too much going on. So I'm going to say YouTube. That's me.
I like it. Thank you. Who else?
I'm hanging with Camille. I don't even, what's a TikTok? I'm on LinkedIn, and, there's so much power in YouTube videos, and because we can use it for so much beyond YouTube. I think that just the power of connection that we can have through the short and long content. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Annika, this is a tough one for you. Which one is it?
I use both of them, but if one were just to disappear, I would keep TikTok. I'm not gonna lie. I would. I've learned a lot of helpful things on TikTok, and it's very entertaining.
Very entertaining. It is entertaining. Dwight, how about you?
So I am a numbers guy, and I posted the same video on TikTok and the same video on YouTube. On YouTube, I got about 5 views and maybe 10 likes. On TikTok, it got 721 likes, views. I have no idea what that number represents, but it's a big number, and I love it. So TikTok for me.
TikTok for me too. I've been in YouTube a lot more, and I started in YouTube. I do love TikTok. It is very easy to use. Just gonna say it's pretty easy to use. I do love watching videos, but you guys are going to be surprised. And the reason I brought this up tonight is, so in my cookbook, I created this recipe called Ani pasta. So Annika, her name is Annika. I always call her Annika, but she goes by Ani. And so when she was little, it was the pasta she liked. And she just called it Ani pasta. That's what she wanted. And it's delicious. And so it's in the cookbook. Well, I do videos on parenting, on education, on the summit. I get a few hundred views, 20, 30 likes, but I make my cooking videos and they skyrocket. So Ani pasta is actually my viral video still to this day. It was done, a year ago, and I still get likes and comments on it every day. So it's just going. Ani pasta. It's great.
It's because of me.
Camille, go ahead.
So I just saw today that in the US, are you all banning TikTok? Is that what's happening now?
Yeah, I did see there's some things about that. I don't know. I don't go into
Me neither, but I will agree with you. I don't know how to tick, but I know how to talk. Meaning, I know how to I like to go on TikTok to get recipes and that stuff. But for me to actually do it and understand, and they go, teaching my sister how to do. I don't understand that stuff, but I'll watch it, and I find that it's very educational. And a lot of motivational speakers are on there, so I like to look at that stuff. But in terms of how to use it, I know it's probably easy to use, and I definitely have heard about the views. You could get you can go viral like that on TikTok over any other platform, but it's still I'm not like that. I just it's just a lot of the content parts.
Yeah.
And now I need to go on TikTok and get some.
You know what? One day when you're bored, Camille, we'll get together. I'll show you. You'll be surprised at how easy it is. So Heidi, who is in our group, she'll be on here. I'm not sure what, maybe next week. I think she's on, she was already on. She was our first night. She was already
It was
on.
on Monday.
Yeah, she's the one who said to me, she was showing me TikTok and she said, do you want to do a live? Let's do it now. And I was like, I don't have my lipstick on. Like, what? I'm not ready. And she's like, no, let's do it now. And I was like, oh, and we did it. And it was so fun. So sometimes you just got to get in and get a little messy. It's okay. All right.
Basically, Dr. Tanya,
I tried it,
it's
Angelica.
a TikTok date. Are we having a TikTok date?
Yeah, we can have a TikTok date. You know it. I help you. Yes, Angelica. Yes, you're gonna love Ani pasta. It's delicious. Damien tried it.
Yeah, and I modified it. I like it. I tried it and modified it. I just substitute the meat. That goes to a good question. Camille brought something in my head. My first question is, where are you from, and what did you want to be when you were growing up?
Okay,
Wow.
I'll start. I'm from O'Fallon, Missouri, and I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher. Don't know what happened to that. But I am not.
Yeah.
Wow, kindergarten to banking. Wow.
I love that.
I did an internship and kind of realized I can't do this for 8 hours every day.
So I feel like Annika and I are like sisters from different
You see what I mean?
Because I'm first-born generation Canadian, born in Canada, but I am deep-rooted in my Trinidadian culture. So I'm a Isaac Trinity to the bone. I will always claim that, as well as I claim my Canadian A. Love both, so I definitely does both parts of me. And when I was growing up, I was a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher. I became a teacher. I even taught in Jamaica, which was fantastic. It was phenomenal. You'll never believe how different islands are, even though we have beaches and mango and thing. It's still different. So it was nice to really engulf in the Jamaican culture there. But when I had children myself, I realized I can't do 8 hours with kids. And then, so I was like, let me transition my teaching. So I'm a financial advisor by trade. And then I decided, you know what? As I'm learning about finances, I realized people need to get their wellness in order. So that's where I love teaching. So I guess I'm technically doing what I want to do in just different ways.
You're still an educator. You're still an educator. You're just your group, your clientele has changed. Yes. Yes. And I think the same thing with Ani. She did forever. That's all she wanted to be, was a kindergarten teacher. And she did a few like shadowing, and she was like, Mom, I don't think I want to do this. And I think honestly, with me being in education, that was kind of hard to come to her mom, right? And say that I don't think this is what I want. And I was like, totally fine. Like, you got to do your thing. Your light's got to shine in you. And so, but she still does, you see that leadership again, like that teaching, the training pieces, that kind of come with that natural teacher. How about anybody else? Kinga, what did you want to be?
I don't know that I had anything really specific in mind. So I grew up in Vermont and in kind of a rural community, and I was naive to a lot of what my opportunities might be. And I think I recognized that. I think that I was not naive enough to know that things were probably going to be changing in my life, and that there were going to be things that would be coming up that would be things I'd want to try. And so I think that much like where I am actually doing now, it was about problem solving and more about aligning with my goals always. So I didn't realize project management was an actual thing. It's not like you grow up 5 years old being like, I want to be a project manager. Didn't know that existed. So yeah, I think, but it ended up aligning really well with who I am.
That's
so I'm over here laughing because I have a similar story to Kinga. I did not know what the term project management was, but that is what I was doing from a very young age. You know, I was always the one who was assigned to organize the kids' birthday parties. I was the one when you had to go on a school field trip. I was the one who was the teacher's assistant to keep everyone else in line and organize. I kept a little clipboard and everything with me, you know, so I definitely understood that. So I hail from two islands in the Caribbean, St. Kitts and St. Martin. One is independent former British colony, and one is the last remaining colony in the Western Hemisphere. We belong lock, stock, and barrel to Holland, to the Netherlands and Antilles.
Oh, wow.
So for me, growing up, a lot of different experiences. I was taught by nuns. I ended up going to a Catholic college in Florida, which was like not what I had planned, but it ended up happening that way. And now it's full circle after COVID. I do project management as my entrepreneurship, and I do poetry and business writing, etc. So did I see this for myself? Maybe in a dream once upon a time as a 10-year-old kid growing up in the islands. However, this is way beautiful and way more real than a dream. So I'm grateful for it.
How about you, Damien? What a little 10-year-old Damien want to be?
I don't know about 10-year-old Damien, but I am from a great place called Brooklyn, New York. And I wear that like I wear my clothing like a badge of honor. So when I was growing up, I wanted to be in sports and sports therapy. And then when I got into high school, I still wanted to do sports and sports therapy, and I wanted to do oceanography. So, and then I got my high school year, and I had to do an internship, and I got caught up in working with kids and families, and it became my passion and purpose. I don't think I would be having fun doing sports therapy now that I look back on it, because I think everything aligned before that was me setting up for this, because I coached basketball, mentored older people, mentored people in my age group. So it just was a fit. The plan was the plan, and it was planned right. So that's me. How about you?
I love that. You know, I don't know. I sort of feel like, I don't know. When I was like, let's see, I grew up in Missouri. Then my parents moved us to California when I was younger. So the third book that I wrote is called Dent Drive. It is a memoir of the 4 years that I lived in California with my parents. My mom wrote her section in there. My brother wrote his section in there. I wouldn't let anybody see the other section. So it's interesting to see the other perspectives of our family members of that time. So that was a very cool book. So I lived there for a while. Then we came back to the Midwest. I don't know. I thought I was going to be a singer. If you really want to know the truth, right? Like, I mean, at 7-year-old, I was singing the Carpenters or Donnie and Marie, you know, in my Donnie and Marie microphone. So I was really all into dancing and singing and had aspirations of that. And then, you know, I don't know. I did lots of health and fitness type things, taught aerobics, and worked at gyms. I enjoyed all of that sort of thing. I've always been to health and wellness, and, you know, really have loved that creative side of life, which I think is the journaling part and the creation part. I've always loved that. I really didn't know that I wanted to be a teacher until I was probably 22, 23. I went away to college. I hated it. I will be the first to say that having an 18-year-old make a lifetime decision is pretty tough for some kids. And for a kid like me, it was really tough. And so I quit going to school after 1 year, moved back home, said, I don't want to do this. I'm not sure what I want to do. I went and got a job. I worked, and I went ahead and married my husband. And then after we were married for a year, I said, I think I'm going to go back to school and be a teacher. So I didn't start teaching till I was 26. And so, and I always tell people who, especially parents who are struggling because their kids at 17 and 18 don't have it all figured out. It's okay. They're going to figure it out. So, you know, I feel like I turned out pretty good. So I think it was a good choices. I think I turned out okay and had lots of support of a really loving family. And that was really important. So, but yeah, the singing, that didn't happen. I have a question for you guys. I want to talk for just a minute. Like we have like 15 minutes left. I want to talk about the Virtual Wellness Summit. I want to highlight you all as presenters. I want you just to give us in just a minute a snippet of what you're going to present. But I want to go in and I want to talk about some of the things that people can expect from the Virtual Wellness Summit. So yesterday, you can go back and watch the recording. It's on my LinkedIn. It's on Damien's LinkedIn. But some of the sessions that you're going to be able to see, thank you, Damien. He created a beautiful graphic. I want you guys to click this QR code, please. I want everybody to go in there and just scroll through it and look at it. There's amazing things that are in here, different things. So this is day 2's topics, and all you get: gain understandings, who's writing your story, them are you, consistency towards greatness, educator to entrepreneur, live a life of no regret, yoga for self-care. Then we have a meet the presenter session where we're just going to hang out and visit with one another, and you can ask questions and interact with them and engage. Just a relaxed time. Eating well when you don't cook. Wild about AI, introducing Ruby AI. Good grief. Healing relational traumas, the intricacies of choosing ourselves. Enhancing your support network to prevent burnout, unlocking your best self, and Damien's closing it out. So all of those presentations are happening on day 2. Day 1, we've got Camille, she's presenting. We have Kinga presenting. We have Dwight presenting on day 1. So they're all presenting on day 1, which is on Friday. So you guys, it's an amazing 2-day summit for a really affordable price. It's $159. You can purchase a 1-day ticket for $89. Come one of the other days. We are working on the back of possibly being able to record it. We'll let you know if that happens. So if you're not able to make it, if you want to purchase it and we can get it to you for recordings, we're working on that. I am not certain if that's going to happen. I'm going to be really honest with you. But I'm going to try. And it's just really an incredible experience. I mean, everyone, all of these energies, all of these people, we brought them together because they're incredible and they have incredible things to share with the rest of the world. You know, Annika and I were the Lone Rangers in the house when we did our very first virtual summit. She came over, we had laptops set up, we were troubleshooting anything that we had, and really the day went off pretty well. And Annika, it was either in one room or I was in a room, literally virtual Zoom room. And, Annika, give your feedback on the very first one that we did. And what did you think as a, person who didn't buy a ticket to the summit?
I thought it was really good. It went by really fast. I'm going to be honest here. I went into it thinking that I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be such a long day. There are all these presenters, but I would go into a room and get stuck because I couldn't stop listening. And then we would look at the time. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's already time for the next presenter. I can't believe this day is going by this fast. Like, that's why there are so many presenters in this one. That's why it was moved to 2 days. We took the feedback that was given to us about the first summit, and we put it into this one so that you can get even more from it.
And we did. And we spent that time. We had a presenter time in the middle of the day, and our presenters were providing feedback for us. And that's what some of the things they wanted. They wanted 2 days. They wanted more presenters. They wanted longer sessions. They wanted to be able to connect with their presenters more. So there was a lot of really great things that came out of it that we listened to. And I remember, so I was trying to go in one room while she was going in one. And I said, Annika, switch rooms, but I'm into this one. Well, she didn't want to leave. So, she was excited about that. So I know she'll be joining us that weekend as well. So I want you guys, if you guys will all just go and give just a little brief snippet of what people could see. Don't give away the whole enchilada. Just give them a little bite. Kinga, you start.
All right. I'm so excited. And it's so awesome to hear how much you're taking those learned lessons and incorporating them in. I think that's such a valuable thing to acknowledge. I just got to give you a shout out for that. It's something that I think a lot of people don't necessarily really put a lot of energy into, and that's what makes us all better. So I appreciate you doing that for us, and it shows too, because we have all found a lot of bonds through the presenters. So I'm really excited because I get to talk about building community through curiosity. Over the past year, as I have been building my business, that is how I really came to what it was that I needed to do with my life. And I truly believe that when we're honing in on something and we're trying to figure out where we need to go, we're building a transformation, we're building our own path. I use project management tools to get us there. But it is about who supports us, who helps elevate us, and what resources we need along the way. You've made so many comments throughout this entire portion of the people that have helped you in situations, and I think we all recognize that. And so it's the power of community, and I wanted to share with people some of the super valuable things that I learned while I was building my community and how I was able to navigate that, and hopefully give a lot of people some good ideas of how they can use their curiosity to build a really awesome network for themselves.
That's incredible. Very nice. And it is, that community is important to have, right? Doing it solo is tough, you know? And I think a lot of times people have a hard time with sharing. And the more that we share, the more that we grow. So it's important that we do that and that we learn from others. All right, Camille, what are people going to get from you? I'm excited.
Well, first of all, if you all have ever heard me speak or seen me on a live, I keep it real with the piece from my streets. So I always come as I am. And what I will be talking about is the power of your voice, the power of because I have a voice, revealing the superhero within. We all are superheroes. We don't need to have rays or spider webs that come out of our hands or fly. Our superpower is our inner being and who we are, our authenticity. And when we use our voice, our strength, a voice could be even in gesture, but it's unique to you. You'll see that everything that you desired has always been here and has always been within. So I'm going to be going through. The voice actually is an acronym for something. You want to know what it means? That means you're coming on March 22nd at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just saying, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Friday, the 22nd. But definitely you want to tune in both days. But what is the voice stand for? Are we talking about the voice of American Idol or America's Got Talent? Or are we talking about the voice of what's within? So that's what we're going to be talking about. There's so much, I always say there's so much more to wellness than just fitness and nutrition. And we're seeing it right here in this summit. Just as Dr. Tanya and Damien has said, this is an action-packed summit that's going to have various topics of wellness. Because what I'm loving about this, I'm just going to put a little snippet here because I'm just going to do it, is what I'm loving about this summit is it's not like your regular or everyday wellness summit, meaning it's not a wellness summit that's on just fitness. It's not a wellness summit that's just on nutrition. It's not wellness summit that's just for moms or a particular group. It is a wellness summit, a virtual one that is on all different areas. Like we're talking mental health, we're talking book publishing, we're talking yoga, gestures, voice, being able to have that work-life balance, all of these different things. And again, you want to know more about it, you got to join us. And if you're looking at the cost of it, remember, you are your biggest investment and even greater reward. So definitely, this is a huge investment into your own self and your own life. So click that link and let's do Let's do it.
That's right. I love it. I love it. Dwight, I know that you've shared about yours, but I want you to tell them about pine cones and spaceships, that sign that's next to you.
The things we hold, we don't get. Lighthouse is burning, the sea is wet. Carry a torch, the night is windy. Death was too late and sleep was too early. Pinecones and Spaceships is a story of a family from South Florida dealing with COVID, mental health, job loss, illness, and all the good stuff. So, one of the things that we want to do as a family, first of all, we were stuck together, right? That's cabin fever times four. And we decided as every night would come in, we would tell each other stories and jokes and riddles and small poems and quotes. So we decided to put it together as one book series, right? Where we each have a part. So this cover is actually designed by my daughter, and she's a graphic artist in the family. And she got a little bit of that from me, not much, just a little bit. And then the stories were edited by my wife and my other family members just to be part of the process. And we wrote poems together, we wrote games together. That's one of the reasons why I resonated so heavily with Dr. Tanya, because that family concept, that family publishing mechanic is such an amazing thing, because not only are you creating a legacy, but you're spending quality time away from the TV. And let me tell you something, TVs for me is for the birds. I have no time for that. Give me a good poem, give me poetry all day. So, what you will get from my 45 minutes of conversation interaction, oh, bring a pen, bring a paper, because we're going to change how you think, how you view yourself, and how you see poetry. Because every one of us is a poet. Every one of us has the ability to express ourselves, to use our voice, Camille, to be able to project ourselves into the universe. Because that's what we do. We are projections of the universe and reflections of ourselves. Oh, that was nice. I need to write that down. Excuse me a moment.
That was great. Where can they get your
Blessings.
book? Where can they get your book, Dwight?
So my book is available everywhere books are sold. Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Goodreads. You could just log in, download a copy. This is the ebook. So the ebook is on Spotify, iTunes. You can say, Alexa, play Pivot by Dwight Thompson, and she'll start playing my book right away. And you'll enjoy it. It's 90 minutes of poetry, self-reflection. If you want to go deep into the consciousness of a Black man in America, this is it. If you want to find hope and light at the end of a rainbow, this is it also. So anywhere, just type in my name, Dwight Thompson, Pinecones and Spaceships, and you'll see it. I'm working on book 7. This is book 6. This is 30 poems of hope, faith, community, social media, life, the universe, and of course, Mother Nature. And it's a process, but we all are involved. And I want to let everyone know you have a story in you. You have a story in you, and don't hesitate to share it, and don't hesitate to let it out. Come on now, we need it.
I love it. Thank you, Dwight. All right, Damien, I'm passing it off to you.
Yeah, so I guess my final question for everyone is you all give so much to other people and do so many things with other people. What does community mean to you? Kinga.
For me, it's a feeling of safety and feeling that when I don't have to be at my best or my worst. I can just be me, and I am just accepted. So it's truly about systems of acceptance, and that's it. Honestly, it's that whether I need help or I don't need help, I'm just okay to be there, and that we just like are there for each other, and yeah, that is the heart of it for me.
That's a great one. Annika.
But I think when I hear the word community, I just think about being together. That's it.
Nice. I'm sorry, Annika. Yeah, created that question. Listening to y'all, it just popped in my head to be the question to ask spur of the moment. So I appreciate y'all for inspiring that question. Camille, what does community mean to you? I know your kids just came in the room. You hear me, Camille?
Oh, I was, right at the minute that you said my name, I was like, Cameron, shut the door, because he's playing the music. So sorry. I was momming with the swallows. You see this, Karen. So I'm not going to take the credit of this, but I say it a lot. I got this from a community that I'm a part of here in Toronto, Canada, by the amazing R&B singer, Canadian artist, Julie Black. Look her up. She's phenomenal. And she got it from another person that she had talked to about it, Mark Strong, radio host here in Toronto. And I love it. And community means to me common unity. We don't have to be looking the same. We don't have to be in the same area, same age, or anything. But when we come together and unite with commonality, we create a community, a collective. And we do it with our own unique style and grace, but we do it together. Common unity is what community means to me.
Nice. That's a real good one. I'm glad you're not plagiarizing it. Giving the credit.
Credit is always given where it's due, and definitely do that.
And Camille was just on the panel. So congratulations on that too, being on a big panel in Toronto. So thank you for being here as well. The white community.
Ooh, that's a beautiful one. Community is about sharing knowledge, right? It's about being able to learn from each other's mistakes and celebrate each other's triumphs. So that is super important, always. That's a good one, Damien. Love that.
Thank you. And I like Julie Black too. And yeah, we'll talk offline about that one. Dr. Farron, community, because the white kind of basically summed it up, but
he really did sum it up. And I do agree with that. We talked about this. We talk about this a lot in my circles, I would say. That community to me is important, and it does have to have the components of safety and security, like Kinga said, because you have to feel safe to be yourself in a space, to be able to learn from your mistakes, to be able to be forgiven in a community, to be able to be uplifted, to be able to be encouraged, empowered. Like those are so many components of a really healthy community, and being able to communicate with the people in there and enjoy them, laugh, have fun, so there's a lot of components to a community that I would be drawn to. How about you, Damien?
Community is about feeling safe, no judgment, passion, purpose, connection, belonging, and understanding. I'm involved in a lot of communities. Guess when we really started this virtual wellness journey, it was about creating a summit. It started evolving to something bigger than that, like an experience. And I'm glad to say and be happy that I have all y'all in my community. And I get to know each and every one of y'all through this and continue over the next couple of week and a half of the summit. So I appreciate everybody. So thank you for even spending your time for an hour and 3 minutes here having this conversation with people. And we were like all strangers. That's why it was important to hear where we all come from, where we wouldn't have been able to meet under normal circumstances. And we were able to be, this is global, because Camille's not even in the US. She's in Northern America, but the whites in Florida, Annika's in Missouri, Dr. Farron is in, I don't know where she's at today, but in Missouri. I'm just kidding. Kinga's in Texas. She's from Vermont. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from a place called Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York. I live in Maryland. I am blessed every day that mathematically I am not supposed to be here, and I'm happy to be here. I thank every one of y'all here. And I thank everybody for chiming in, who scrolled down, who clicked, who responded, who liked, who didn't even say anything and clicked on it and said, you know what, I like to stay in the shadows. I appreciate everybody for coming. So that said, Dr. Fan, you want to take us out?
I do. Thank you all for being here. All of our presenters, you guys are incredible. We love having you. I cannot wait to see you. Thank you for your support and the fun that you're bringing to this event. Thank you, Annika, for all of your creative help and support and all the things that you do behind the scenes to help this event. It's incredible. We wanted to highlight you. Thank you, Damien, for being my partner in this. We've had the best time together and it has been so fun and we're just rolling. I mean, it's just going. Thank you for everybody in the audience. We appreciate you being here, whether you were here listening, multitasking, getting yourself ready for bed, getting up in the morning with us, whatever the case, wherever you are in the world, we love you. We appreciate you. We love that you're part of our community also. Make sure that you grab your ticket to the Virtual Wellness Summit. We are down. We have 5 more days. We're on here the next 5 nights at 7 p.m. Central Time. And that's it. Then it's showtime. And so, get your tickets. Come and see us. Come play with us. It's going to be a blast. Damien's going to finish us out with a reel of everybody. Presenters, you're welcome to stay for a minute backstage if you want. Wrap up with us afterwards. Or if you got to go, we totally get it. But Damien's going to finish us out. Thanks, everyone, for coming.
Bye, everyone.